we're going to take a look at my Fender American Professional 2 Telecaster. This video isn't like other videos where it's, 7 minutes of talking and then 1 minute of playing. We're going to be playing this thing quite a bit. I also have a few other videos of this guitar on the channel, so take a look if you're interested. 10 to 46 gauge strings, and the signal chain is always listed in the description down below, along with the chapter markers. But that's enough talking. Let's get after it. Now, it seems you can't do a review on YouTube nowadays without talking about the specs, right? So I'm going to try and quickly go over that, as quickly as I kind of can. We have what could be referred to as a slab of alder, because it's not a contoured or carved top here. We have a satin deep C neck profile on a maple neck. This one here is a rosewood fretboard as well with the dot inlays. We have the Fender 6-in-line tuners. They are not locking, which I prefer because I find there's a weird vibration with locking tuners. I'm nuts. We also have the bullet style bridge, which I find is extremely comfortable to use. We have the V-Mod 2 Telecaster pickups with a single tone and a single volume and a 3-way toggle switch. Now, the tone actually, when you have it in the middle position, will give you a bit of a fatter tone when it is pushed in, which means it's in the up position. And the last thing I want to talk about spec-wise here is we have the contoured neck heel. So the neck pocket is a little contoured, so it gives you, it's a little more comfortable when you're playing in the higher register. But that's enough about the specs. Here's 5 more sound samples. Now I do have to take a little bit of time out here to appease quite a few people because it's not a review unless you play clean with the bridge, the middle, and the neck position. Personally, I've always found with a little bit of maybe considered light drive, I find a little more benefit in hearing the differences of the pickups. Now the potentiometers here are rather good, they're very useful, so when you're actually going and moving from different positions, there's a change. It's not, you know, a 10 to like 5 and then off. So here's that. I've always found that the Fender sweeps aren't as kind of crazy as, like, say, a Gibson sweep, but they are very useful. So let's put this in the middle position and we'll use the push-push and you can hear the difference. Now, just in case you're curious on the difference between the sound of the American Professional to Telecaster and the American Professional to Stratocaster, here's that in the bridge, the middle, and then the neck position. The Strat is a little more versatile than the Telecaster here, as the Strat actually ends up having about 5 different positions rather than 4 found on the Telecaster. So there are all the sound samples. So on that end, hopefully that'll help you judge whether, you know, you find this a good guitar or not. Play it for yourself because it may sound good to you, but may not feel good to you, and feel is always better than the way that things sound. You can really adjust things, you can do some upgrades and stuff like that to help with sound. However, a really bad feeling guitar that sounds great doesn't always work. But do I find this to be a good guitar? Now, surprise, surprise, I own this. I've owned this for over a year now, and I absolutely love it. I do have to say I prefer my American Series Telecaster to this one, but that's a little more nuanced, or for a little more nuanced reasons. It's a little older, and there's some dings in there that I notice while I'm playing, and again, I'm crazy. However, this is a very versatile guitar, a very versatile Telecaster, and the cutaway doesn't always come into play, but it is a welcomed addition. And I've always found that adding a Telecaster to something like a metal mix, just dialing back the tone to about 7 or 8, pairing it with, you know, some other guitars in a mix, really does add a little bit more depth to things. It's not really something, you're not going to get a whole bunch of like chunk and chug, but it's going to give you maybe a little bit of that high mid and top end that might be missing in a mix. And to me, this is a very comfortable guitar to play. The satin poly, I think it is, the satin polyurethane neck is rather comfortable. I'm someone that really does enjoy a gloss finish on a neck and on a body. However, the satin finish that they have on the American Professional 2s, they are rather comfortable. The American Professional 1 series, the finish that was on there was way less, and I found it to be a little bit more restricting. Doesn't mean I didn't like the Professional 1 series, because I do have 2 Professional 1 Strats, and I love those things. But I do find that the neck here is a lot more comfortable. And I don't really find myself restricted while using this Telecaster here. It's a Telecaster, so the magic is a lot to do with the neck position and the middle position rather than the bridge. The bridge does a whole heck of a lot, especially dialed back to like 7 or 8. But it is one of those guitars that I do find very inspiring, especially playing with the middle position, which I really lack with, you know, usable tones in that. Just the way that my ears are. They're not the best ears in the world, but it is something that I do strive to improve on. And I do find that the middle position on the Telecaster is a little more inspiring than on most other guitars. One last thing I do have to mention here, it does not have the belly cut like the Deluxe does. And that is one reason why I have a hard time justifying getting a Telecaster Deluxe, because the cutaways that are here, like the belly carve, I find that less appealing on the American Standard Telecaster that I own that has it. And it's one of the very few things that I dislike about my Parallel Universe Strat Tele, because it's a Tele-shaped guitar that has all the Strat, you know, things on it, and the belly carve is basically one of the only things that I don't like about it. So if you do like the belly carve, this does not have it whatsoever. It's sort of like a Les Paul, where that doesn't have the belly carve on it. But that's all I do have to say. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you found it useful. Sorry that I did talk quite a bit at the end, but you can skip that kind of stuff, just so you know. But hopefully I was able to give you a little bit of information. Thanks for watching.